It's just work. We're trying not to take it too seriously.
But really, it is your career and you need to take ownership of it.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
We have drum roll. As you can see, and we have the most amazing person with us today. I'm going to give her some time to introduce herself. But first, let me introduce the new series, what we're talking about. So, this series is majorly looking at, immigration. Immigration is not a new thing; it's as old as time. People move from one place to another. But we're just going to focus on like this era, our generation. And today, with our guest speaker, whose name I'm not going to give off just yet, we're talking about foreign credentialing, upskilling, reskilling. I would say, what's the word? Tilling the job market, and looking for those hidden jobs that are not readily available to you. Our guest speaker has, a lot of experience in this area, and that's why she's with us today. A lot of us are very qualified, have the experience, and then we leave our beloved home country to a foreign land, and then we're wondering, oh my God, was my certificate just paper? Was it just for nothing? So, our guest speaker today is going to be talking to us about foreign credentialing, upskilling, reskilling, tilling the job market, and finding hidden jobs. So, we have. Okay, let me hand over to Bukola now, so that I don't yap away.
Thank you, Dickens. I'm so excited. Like, not only is it our first time, doing a virtual recording, which I think is going well.
Just so
Fingers
far.
crossed. Don't jinx it. But I'm so excited that we are launching our guest speaker series, and we're even starting off with someone very, very, very dear to me. Like, we've known since forever. Like, before we started, I was like a driver, but just saying that how we've known each other since like over 25 years actually. Ayo.
Wow.
Over 25 years. But yeah, so we have none other than Ayo Orhiere. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
It's fine. Ayo Orhiere is fine.
But Ayo is going to join us today, and I'm so excited. I think if you follow Ayo Tips and Joy, she shares a lot around just navigating recruitment, interviews, getting jobs, launching into tech roles. Like, Ayo is very skilled at this, and I know this is going to be a very so many gems will be dropped today. So don't snooze, don't snooze, don't snooze. Just make sure you're paying attention. Yeah. So I'm going to pass the phone now. I'm going to pass it over now to Ayo to just walk us through her career journey, share a little bit about herself, and I'll take it off from there. Ayo, over to you.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me. My name is Ayo Orhiere, and I have over 8 years of experience being a project manager and a Scrum Master. My background is in engineering. I actually studied petroleum engineering, and I'm sure you're wondering, how did you get here? Yeah, but I mean, I'll share a little bit about it, and I'm sure during the course of discussion we'll delve more into it. So I initially immigrated to the United States before I came to Canada. So I've gone through like the hoops in different places. I started as a student, so that's like the almost like the basic starter pack for, for an immigrant, and all the struggles there trying to get your papers and all of that. Having to reposition yourself, because it's very important. And not until I did that was I able to get a job. I'm telling you, this was years. So it took a lot, but now I've learned a lot, and that's why I'm sharing. So thanks for inviting me once again. Just a little about myself, but I know we'll get deeper into it here.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And in fact, I actually forgot the part that you actually immigrated first to the US and then to Canada. Yeah, no other better person to actually talk about this, to be honest, because you've lived it. You've lived the experience.
I have.
Live.
And
Amazing.
I am blown away. I actually thought she studied something in business management. You're
No.
an engineer. Gee,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so it's like it's different things. Apart from the
Mm,
fact that I'm using my transferable skills, trying to get into another role, is also training yourself to not only think technically, more like going from being an from being an introvert because to being
mm,
an extrovert, because most
Right.
times most engineering, very technical, you
Yeah.
just want to stay in your cubicle and do your work, and
yeah,
that's how your mind has been trained, right? When
yeah.
you get all those roles where you have to constantly speak to people, you kind of shy away from it, like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't
Mm,
want to do this, I just
mm,
but I had to because I wasn't
Mm.
getting what I wanted.
mm.
So it's a lot of things went to it before I eventually transitioned into this. Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, we'll get right into it now. Dickens, you want me to go? Should I
Yeah,
start it off?
I think you can go.
Okay,
We can get into the questions and get into
okay.
the meat of the matter. Yeah.
Amazing. And I already talked about it. I think you even started off when you shared your experience around how you had to reposition yourself to
Yeah.
actually now get what you want, and now sharing those things that you've learned along the way. I know it wasn't a walk in the park, so please, I really like you to just also delve in like some moments where maybe things really got hard and everything. Just let us know, like some people know in
What to do?
reality what these
Yes.
things look like. So
Yeah.
let's start off first with most people when they come into, I'll use Canada for example. Like even
Yeah.
before you come, I remember when I was coming, someone already told me that I should go and learn business analysis, I should go and learn data analysis, I should do and it was almost as though that was the only job. And
Yeah.
when I even
Yeah.
googled this, I was like, "What is this?" We looking at it, I said, "Nah, nah, nah, nah. This cannot be me." So
Mm-hmm.
can you tell us, like, okay, this whole upskilling, reskilling,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what should how should newcomers decide which route to take? Like, is it even really important to start with?
Yeah, to be honest, first of all, I have to say that it's a lot of courage, it's a lot of work. Because imagine like yourself and I'm people like I immigrated like 10 years ago. So I would say now I wasn't like really deep in, right?
Mm,
Because I just graduated, maybe 2 years after I graduated was when I immigrated. Now there's
mm,
so many people that they already have like 6 or 7 years of experience working, for
mm,
example, in your home country. Example, I've
mm,
just used Nigeria
yeah.
here, and you're so deep into it, right?
Mm,
It's a lot of courage to then start repositioning your mind, and you that you already know how things go, right? You know
mm,
how
mm,
everything. So in terms of upskilling, reskilling, first of all, where you're going to, you have to really understand what is in the market for you, right? And what's your earning potential. Now, some people are really passionate about what they do. And for example, I have a lot of law friends, and they just wanted to continue in law. It might be fear, like this is all I know, I don't want to change it. Or it
mm,
might actually be I enjoy this and this is what I want to do.
mm,
Right.
mm,
So you have to look at what's in that place, right? Are there lawyers there?
mm,
Can you easily transfer your skills, or can you easily do some exams to get you qualified to becoming a lawyer there? How is the exam? Is it easy to pass? Because, for example, going to the US now, maybe with a medical degree, yes,
yeah.
there are exams to, become a medical doctor, but can you pass it? Because the cutoff mark, the cutoff mark is like 90%. Honestly, like
True.
it's
True.
almost like it's designed for you to
So
fail.
fair.
So, wow.
Yeah, so all those
Oh,
kind of questions is part of it. So when we talk about upskilling, for example, maybe you're already in the IT space, but you're just the help desk or something, right? And you hear that, oh, at this point, like for example, like 2021, 2022, I understand what you mean, like business analysis,
Yeah.
Scrum Master, project management. That was what was making a lot of money, and it kind of felt
mm,
like it had an easier barrier of entry. So
Okay.
that's
mm,
why everywhere, that's what people were talking about.
Okay.
So, for example, maybe you're a help desk, and I'm still in the IT space, but I'm not really in that space, right? Of business analysis and all of that. So
yeah.
that's the position of upscaling. Okay, let me take a business analysis certificate. I understand some basic things about technology, but I'm
Yeah.
not yet on this level, right? So taking some kind of courses, yes, I would say in that during those years, in that era, or like 2021, 2022, the market was really, really booming. Not that doesn't mean it won't get better, right? Because this is a cycle.
Yeah.
But um at that point in time, you could take those courses, even from,
Mm.
like, I was in the US and I got a job from US to work in Canada.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, because I already got my PR when I was in
Okay.
Canada. So I
Okay.
just started applying and I
Mm.
got a Scrum Master job. And when I came to, I already had a job. I
Mm.
started work like in a week or 2 weeks. So, and that
Mm.
was the market. It was also being prepared, right?
Mm.
And
Mm.
being focused too. So, um, that was how I did that. So my own was even reskilling, to be honest. Reskilling is where you're changing your entire
Yeah.
career path, right? Because, like, for myself, like I said, I studied petroleum engineering bachelor's in Nigeria. I did a master's in petroleum engineering in the US. So
Oh.
yeah, so but a little story. But by the time I was graduating, was a change of government. The government didn't really favor immigrants, and
Mm.
uh you hear about these things, but when you are living in it, then you understand how
Mm.
it works, right?
Right.
Now, companies are scared to sponsor. Doesn't mean they don't have the capacity to sponsor, but now they don't want to go against the laws of the current government. They don't know if there are any penalties. So now
Yeah.
they are scared. Yeah, they just look for the easier path. Oh, does this person have papers? Please, let's just go with this person, right?
Yeah.
Instead of,
Mm.
so even though you're outside, you're hearing about it. When you're living in it, you know how all these things you count as gist. You know how it is affecting the people that are in
Yeah.
there. So that was my own story, right? And there was a downturn in the oil and gas industry at that point in time. So now I wanted to we also having delays in like our work permits and things like that. So we then applied for the PR, right? And then we got it. I was even hesitant to come because I'm like, Canada is too boring. People and people that go there, you never hear of them again. It's like everybody
Oh
just goes.
no. This,
And
this bunkum place.
this was like 2020 the first time they actually called me was 2019. They had to, in fact, they had to keep on reminding me your express, because I didn't want to go. It was 3 times they had to like send a
Wow.
reminder. And
MTA. Wow.
yes, because then it wasn't as crazy as now, right? Then
Yeah.
people were, so it was the third time that because then what even prompted me the third time was I just got another email like your work permit has been rejected. So my
Oh.
head just like
Mm.
alerts, like, man, you have to do something. So
Mm.
that's when we decided to go, and I already started applying while I was waiting for the whole thing to click and all of that. So I digress to say that it was like changing. So what do I want to do? I know that in Calgary there's petroleum engineering, but I didn't want to go
Yes.
to Calgary because in my head Calgary was even the worst of the worst in terms of not hearing of people. I'm sorry if you live in Calgary. So, and then also for opportunities for my husband as well. And then we had like a friend in Ontario, and so I was just thinking, what else can I do? I
Mm.
I met one of my husband's friends. He was a scrum master. So I'm like, and when I visited him, I'm like, this guy, he seems to be, because he was already so this one was already working from home in like 2019 or 2018,
Mm.
living a chill life, single guy. I'm like, I know the guy. I know he's very unserious. I'm like, for this guy to do it, I can do. I'm like, I can do this thing, and that's how I. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of
Mm.
focus, because now you're hearing of so many things: Scrum Master, business analysis, project management, cybersecurity. Sometimes people just get confused in that whole, what should I do? So you see
Yeah.
them reading about Scrum Master today, reading about cybersecurity today. But that kind of thing makes
Yeah.
it more, you're not focused and all of that. So, and that was how I reskilled. And what I did was, like, for example, even working as a petroleum engineer, as an engineer, there were some instances whereby we had a project. Maybe I just stepped up in terms, maybe things were not going as planned. I'm like, let's do this thing. What can we do? What do we have here? We're working for a client. All those instances was what I applied in my resume. So those are like the
Mm.
transferable skills, right?
Mm.
All those situations whereby, funny enough, it almost feels like the offices where you suffer most is where you gain a lot of experience for your. for your resume, because I know just all the things I said during my interviews, right? I remember when I was in those companies, I was very upset because I was like, in quote, suffering, right? But those were the skills, those were the experience that I gained that has helped me, that I was able to reposition myself, even on my resume. It's so important. I think coming from Nigeria, number one, I think people were scared. They don't know what you need to do to get this job. So, for example, like you have your resume in Nigeria, it's mostly your duties, right? Responsible for doing
Mm,
these things like that.
mm,
Nobody really cares about that here. It's mostly your impact.
yeah.
Now, I know Nigerians, they've taught us to be very humble. We
Yeah.
can't brag about anything. Everybody, you have to say, like, this is what it's almost like I've done this, like, and you have to stand out, because that's the only way to stand out. There are thousands of people. The recruiters don't even have time to like look through your resume. So I'm saying this to talk about resumes as well. Like how you present is very important. They don't know you from anywhere, right? So,
Mm,
and you don't have the opportunity to explain anything.
Right.
So even when you're putting your transferable skills, for example, some people would, for example, let's say I'm transitioning to cybersecurity and I work as an engineer where I was. Some people will have their job title as engineer, and then they will now put all the, where you list like your actionable things that you have achieved on
yeah.
that your
Yeah.
job title. They will now put things related to cybersecurity and expect that the recruiter will read line by line to see that what they're applying is cyber. I'm like, no, just put um cybersecurity there. When you speak to them, then you explain yourself, because
Mm,
that your resume is like when you're going for a concert and you have your tickets. People have to see that you have the ticket. You can't go there and start explaining. I bought this. No, no, no. Just show them when you enter. You can
mm,
then start explain. So it's like your gateway to getting in first. Get
Right.
mm,
in, then explain yourself. Now I'm not saying put all the lies and things you cannot do in this world on it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
saying that reposition yourself and then make yourself presentable enough to be able to get in. When you get in, yeah, then you can go ahead. Yeah, sorry I've spoken so long, but yeah.
no, I think it's fine. Now you already touched on a couple of even other things
Exactly.
to get to. So I think that's
Okay.
a good. I'll
Yeah.
pass the ball to Lakers to.
Yeah. No, Ayo, thank you so much. This has been so insightful. So many things you've said that I hope the viewers catch on. You've spoken about courage. You've spoken about reskilling, like the courage and humility to reskill.
True.
Engineers are one of the proudest people I know. So, like,
True.
I'm an engineer.
No shades intended.
Yeah. What's wrong with your shoulder? Nothing to my shoulder. I
I
just
feel
remember
like
saying I'm an engineer.
yeah.
But you have the humility to reskill. Um, and then you sort of pivoted into a new environment.
Yeah.
You've talked about so many things. Also, even things like government change. I know even in Canada, when the elections happened, there were a lot of people that were just worried, like, okay, if there is a change in the ruling party, what happens to
Mhm.
certain industries, etc. So really, thank you for that, and also thank you for letting us know that Canada is the sunken place.
It's
Um,
not. No, no, no. My mind, no, at all. I always tell that these are the best years of my life. To be
oh
honest,
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
having a
Okay.
really good time. That was I think that was the devil trying to trick me, into not getting to my blessing. But this is,
Mm.
I've had a
Wow.
great. Yeah, I'm still
Wow.
enjoying it so far. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, so you've, like Bukola said, you've already touched on so many other questions we have, but I guess the next question I'd ask is, so are there industries that are more receptive of foreign credentials? So say for instance you were already a certified whatever back in Nigeria. Are there industries that are more receptive to international credentials or foreign credentials?
Yeah, yeah. So definitely, I think first of all, maybe because I'm in the space, but the tech space, they are very receptive, because I mean, any company that has an IT department, or most of the time you see that most of the people, they're offshore, probably based in either Africa or based in India. And it might be for their own personal, their own selfish reasons, right? Because maybe it's cheaper for them to hire those kind of people. And that has kind of forced organizations to be receptive
Mm.
to different cultures and different countries. Because
Okay.
if I'm gonna pay someone that is based in Canada maybe 120,000 and I can get it somewhere for 30K, right? At the end
Yeah.
of the day, organizations, everything is what benefits them,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it has kind of forced them to be
Okay.
receptive. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's people that were back home in Nigeria, that were in the IT space, and then during that boom, right, when we had a lot of opportunities,
Mm.
it was very easy for them. Some of them were
Yeah.
getting jobs from Nigeria. In
Yeah.
fact, some of them were working 3 jobs,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
I
From
remember.
yeah, yes,
Mm.
some people were earning millions. I'm telling you,
I
Wow.
remember. Yeah.
yeah. So it was very easy. It was very easy.
Mm.
Then also in the health space, and just
Okay.
because health is, I mean, health is wealth. Health is what everybody needs, right?
Right.
It's some degrees, some levels are receptive. Like, but
Okay.
when you start getting to like medical doctor,
Right.
they want you to be, they want you to like retrain. It might take years and all of that. But like I think for like nurses, like medical assistants, those are still like they're still receptive
Mm.
to like caregivers as well. They're still
Yeah.
receptive to some kind of foreign qualification. Yeah.
Okay.
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 Okay. Okay. Okay. So just while we still talk about that, I'm just trying to see why am I not repeating another question? Okay. So let me ask this one. Wait now. First question. Um, which programs or courses? And I know this can be a bit tricky, right? But just from your experience and what you've learned so far, which program or courses do you think are worth the time and money? Like, irrespective of whatever field that you find yourself, that I feel like having this certification will be you know will be a good.
Go ahead.
I
Dickens,
want
go
to
ahead, please.
I want to chime in.
Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Bukola is here doing cha 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 cha. Bukola hates certifications. I remember when we were moving to when we were moving to
You
Canada.
can't do me
Bukola
like this.
called me. She said that she's not doing any HR certification. She's done, we've done all the CHRM, all the CIPD, that she's
Yeah.
not. Um, and thankfully, we came to Canada and realized that though it's a preferred option, it's not
Yeah.
compulsory,
Not
right?
Yeah.
mandatory.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it won't give us an advantage. So, to build on that question is is it worth it, and how do you know which certifications are worth putting in the money, time, energy, and whatnot?
Okay. Now, I think this environment or this job market that we're in now is quite tricky. So, if I would say like in a stable job market, right? In a where, at least people are seeing jobs and all of that. And right now, because of the rise in like technology in the space of artificial technology, IT companies and all of that. And it also depends on what you like, right?
Okay.
Um, some people will say, for example, even me as an engineer, I really like technical things whereby I'm just in my cubicle doing my work and going home. I'm not talking to anybody. That was what I liked. And life actually pushed me to the other area. I would say that courses for me, I think project management is really good. To be honest, I think it changed my life, to be
Mm.
honest. Studying, taking that certification in project management, combining it with being a Scrum Master at that point in time. Now there are not many Scrum Master jobs, but I get a lot of project management jobs. So
Mm.
people say there are no jobs. Like this year, I've gotten at least three offer letters just
Oh,
because of,
Wow.
and these are big companies, right?
Wow.
One of the biggest healthcares, one of the top consulting companies, another insurance company, because sometimes I just want to try and test what's
yeah,
in the
Of
in the
yeah.
course.
market and all of that. So I would say maybe I'm being biased, and just because I say it changed my life, right? But project management, I think it's very important because number one, it kind of, if you are someone that likes like the career progression, it kind of puts you on middle level, right? You kind of so you're not start, you don't have to start as an entry. Project
Right.
management is more like middle level. Yeah. Then if you don't even care about career progression and you like money, I mean, if you're middle level, it means you're not earning on the bottom of the of the chain, right?
Yeah.
So puts you at that level, and then almost, in fact, almost every company needs a project manager at some point in time.
Mm.
Another problem is that people don't like talking to each other. So you need that kind of middle person that can bring things together to get the job done. So
Yeah.
it's a role that will always be in demand. Even before this tech boom, they have been project managers since
Mm-hmm.
time yeah,
Mm-hmm.
since time past. So I would say project management is good. You mentioned like the HR, because I have like my style is also in HR too, and I
Okay.
see how she has been able to progress as well. So going for like a certification, and she came for a certification program to get into Canada, and
Okay.
then she's been able to get into that space as well. So my number one though will be project management. Yeah, now I know you don't need it to get a job. You don't need it to get a job, but it's not like when you even interviewing, they will ask you that when did you take your course or blah blah blah. Um,
Mm.
but you see it in like the job description, nice to have. Some recruiters will ask you, and I'm sure some of them are biased. Maybe, like, for example, if two people have the exact same skills and then you have a certification, it kind of
Mm.
doesn't
Uh,
mean you are better than the person, but
Yeah.
it kind of,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
pushes you up a bit. So yeah, and it's respected, to be honest. No matter how many people are taking it, it's not an easy, it's not something that you
Right.
can wake up and just pass.
Mm.
So
Right.
it's also respected in the field. So maybe because I'm in that space, I'm kind of biased towards that. But there are others, right? There's cybersecurity, there's certifications in
Mm.
that,
Mm.
data analysis. Data analysis is in fact, is the present and the future, because all
Mm.
of this rise in artificial intelligence rides on it, rides on
Mm.
data analysis. So it's very, very important. So it takes you also to that technical space. Um, like now I know many people when they come in as caregivers and things like that. So a certification in that too, if it's something you like, right? Something you can do, it
Mm.
also helps people to be at least be able to get in. Most, like UK, Canada, they always have special programs for caregivers, so it's another opportunity for you to,
Mm.
yeah, come in. So I would say those certificates are good. And business analysis, I can't forget that.
Mm.
Yeah, business
Mm.
analysis, very important. Yeah,
Yeah.
almost like on the part of project management. So it's good.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Ayo, thank you so much for that. I think that was really, really loaded. And, sometimes we are really, should I say, proud of our previous certifications and experience.
Yes.
And we hold on to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
At other times, it's just sheer laziness when it comes
Sure.
down to it. It's like, I'm too old for all this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So thanks for sharing that. And there are just some, like you said, there's some fields that you must have these certifications.
Which ones? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned, cybersecurity, like there's some annual certifications they take, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. So you spent 3 months last year trying to get the certification, and it expires in a year. It doesn't make sense, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then if you're like Bukola, it does give you it does give you an edge. Okay, so to my next question, which is sort of segueing away
Mhm.
or segueing into something new, is Ayo, you had mentioned that you used to be an introvert. A lot of people are ambiverts. We've talked about credentialing. And it's really just you getting a new certification, reskilling or upskilling, and then you put it in your resume, you send out applications. So that's
Sure.
one way of doing things. The other way, which a lot of people herald here in Canada, is networking. Oh my God. Bukola and Ayo, the number of you need to get out for coffee chats, you need to network, you need to get into conferences, women in tech, black in tech, da, 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 da. I'm like, hey, God. Um, so it can be intimidating for
Yeah.
newcomers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does
Yeah.
it work? Does it actually work? And if it does, how can people find their way into these networking spaces, and how can they make networking work for them?
To be honest, it's a lot of work. Yeah. Networking, in fact, it's almost like a job. You have to be very consistent. And I also struggle with it, right? I can start it, but then I beg, I'm tired. Like, yeah. Yes, it does work. And I will share a story. When I was in the US, right, I already knew, okay, I'd responded to Canada that then we had like the pandemic, things were now slower in them responding.
Yeah.
So I'd already started applying. Like I'd taken the Scrum and PMP certification, and then I changed my resume based on my own understanding. I already started applying. I didn't get anything.
Mm.
So I started sending messages to people on LinkedIn.
Mm.
Another thing about me, or another thing about you have to be like, I didn't like my situation. So I wasn't taking it lightly. I wasn't like resting. And that's
Okay.
something about me. Once I get into, I hate this, I need to change it.
Mm.
My mind is so into it. And
Mm.
I will almost try anything legal.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
to get it.
Wow.
So I can be very focused. If something is not working well, maybe I'm just not interested and I don't have time for it. But
Yeah.
once I have time for it, I'm like, you know, deep into it. So what I did was I just started sending messages to people on so I just Googled pe- I started with Nigerians in Canada on I don't even know how I worded it in LinkedIn though. But
Okay.
like Scrum Masters in Canada or something. And many of them were blacks. So yeah, some of them had Nigerian names and all of that. I would just send messages to them. Hi, my name is Ayo. I'm moving to Canada soon. I would like to get more information about um how you about your resume, what are the things that work in. It was like a blast
Mm.
message. And
Mm.
then LinkedIn didn't have this many rules where you can only send 10 messages, they didn't have all this many whatever. So I just sent it to plenty people, more than 50 people, I'm sure. And
Wow.
I also be at least one person will answer. So
Yeah.
it's a couple of people will accept your connection
Mhm.
Yeah.
request and all of that. And then someone else, and also prayer, because
Mm.
even then, like I said, I didn't like my situation. I almost became, my
Mm.
husband used to tease me that you so open your own church because it's true. No, because like I tried everything and it wasn't working.
Mm.
So it's either I hold on to God's throats or and try what I can. So I was praying a lot and I still pray a lot. So
Mm.
and then someone responded, and more than maybe like 2 or 3 people responded out of 50 people, but I
Mm.
didn't care. At least someone respond. So he
Right.
responded to me, and I was like, "Ah, if you don't mind, can we?" He actually shared his resume with me. Then
Oh.
because yeah, and it's so important because the resume you used in getting that job, because for you to get that job and for you to get other offers, there
Yeah.
is something in that resume.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
So once he sent his resume, I'm telling you, I edited my own to look just similarly like that. There
Mm.
are some things that were on his resume that I didn't know.
Mm.
I did basic research on it, right?
Mm.
On
Mm.
like on YouTube. I put it in my resume.
Mm.
Mm.
When they ask me about it and whatever, I will tell them that it's basic. Most times they will even ask.
Yeah.
You just need to get that interview, right? But
Yeah.
have at least, oh, this is how this thing looks. I don't have in-depth knowledge, but this is what they're trying to do when they
Mm.
talk about this. So
Mm.
that means everything on my resume, I have some kind of basic
Mm.
understanding of what it is. And that was how, once I started using that guy's resume, like I'm telling you, from US, I
Wow.
was having interviews at least two every week. I'm not lying.
Hmm.
Wow. Wow.
So that's how yes, it does work, but like I said, networking work, but it's a lot of work, and
Yes.
you have to be consistent. So even all these coffee chats, you have to be following up.
Mm,
And there's some of us that get tired, like
mm, mm, mm,
so you have to be
Mm.
following. So I will
mm,
advise that network, but pray about it. God also knows
Mm.
that you get tired. God knows I can be lazy. So whatever I need to get from this network, it needs to work
It
quickly
needs to
because I can
work.
give
mm,
Yeah.
I
mm,
can give up. Yeah. So yes, it does work on LinkedIn, or when people have like this like meet and greets, although
Mm.
some of them, maybe they're like $20, $50. It
mm,
might cost a lot, but you need to for it to work, you need to be consistent. You can't just, oh, I went to this place today,
mm,
nothing happened, oh, it doesn't work. No, you have to follow up with them. You have to go for other
Mm.
events. It's almost like a job. But
Mm.
it does work. It does work because after the boom of so many job opportunities, to be honest, the next set of people that could get jobs are people that was from referrals. Maybe someone, yeah,
yeah.
because like it almost felt like things went silent,
Yeah.
Mm,
like after the boom of everywhere tech, everything popping and all of that. So it does work and it's very important. So to even still catch up with these people so that it doesn't look like it's only when you need something that
Yeah.
you
mm,
are in the
Yeah.
space.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
going back to what I said, is a lot of work. It's not
Mm.
an easy thing, but it does work. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for sharing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That was. I think I love the transparency and honesty in that the two, yes, it's networking, but it takes a lot of work and it really can be overwhelming. And I like how
Yes.
you find that so that you're tired. So if
Yeah.
I was getting my answer like in 1 week or 2 weeks, because I don't have time to be following up with you that I know many people that reached out to me as well on LinkedIn, like, oh, coffee.
Eh,
And honestly speaking, I want to have the coffee chats, but we just can't get
wait.
the right, the
True.
perfect I'll not be feeling bad. So like, it's not like I don't want to talk to this person, but honestly, it's not just working out. So well, it has to work. Thank you so much, for
Yeah.
sharing that. You've already touched on the number of other questions that we had, even from what you mentioned, even around cold messaging people on LinkedIn. Talk about that in
Yes.
your own
Yeah.
experience.
I
So,
did that.
what,
Mhm. Go ahead.
but I think, but the question I have, and maybe this will be, I don't, probably we can, maybe this will be our last question, or if any other one Dickens wants to ask. But I think the last question I'll say I have is, I always hear or start hearing about there's a hidden job market.
Mm.
There's something that you don't see. Like
Yeah.
their companies are not posting now, but their vacancies exist. Can you like what do you think about that, and how can people
Tap.
harness tap into the hidden job market?
Okay. One way that I know people can do that is through agencies. So, recruitment agencies. So,
Mm,
because the sole purpose of a recruitment agency is to get employment for these companies that are liaising with. So, for
yeah,
example, I'm a recruitment agency. KPMG comes to meet me that I need some roles. They will post that role on their normal websites.
right.
But now, as a recruitment agency, that's the only way I'm surviving. So I will look for anybody possible
Mm,
that has
mm,
the skills so
mm,
that I can then give that job to KPMG. KPMG can then pay me because that's the only
yeah,
way I can exist.
yeah.
So even when I say that I've gotten 3 jobs in this whatever, is
Mhm.
the agencies that I met in 2020 that I've been following up with.
Oh,
So I
wow.
just even yeah, it's the agencies I met that helped me at least get to. The
Mhm.
other one that I got like with the consulting from, which is where I now work, is was just LinkedIn. And funny enough, they responded. Even though
Mhm.
that's quite, people keep asking me that how did I, because it's this year, right? And this year has
Mhm.
been last year was tough, this year is tough, right? So
Yeah.
I actually just applied that. So you have like I've talked a lot about resume. You
Mhm.
have
Mm,
to have the right things in there to even
mm,
get in. When you
mm,
get in there, you can now start explaining, hey, I was in the US. I wasn't no. If you don't get in, nobody even knows what you have to offer. So
yeah.
you sometimes you have to say what you need to say to get to that point where you need to speak to people. So like I was saying, and yeah, agencies is because that's their sole aim of existing.
Uh,
Then yeah, I would say that's number one. And following up with, you have to be, I think if I were going to give any advice to my child or any, you have, when it comes to something you want, you have to be you have to be stubborn, resilient. You have to not give up. Like there's so many things in my life that I've gotten because the person was actually tired of me. Like, okay, I've heard, so that you will even stop coming here and greeting me 100 times.
like
Just
the
take
woman
it and go.
that Jesus said, like
She kept
you
disturbing the king.
the judge house and knock. Okay, okay, I'll help you. Just leave me alone.
Just go. So I wasn't the most qualified. I wasn't, so just like these agencies, I disturb the lady is even my friend. I chat with her, like I can chat with her at any time of the day and she responds because we've built that relationship and I don't let her rest.
Mm,
So like also it, and but it's a lot of courage too because it can be
yeah.
tiring.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I don't burn out. So sometimes I burn out. But then when I remember that this is not where this is not the sub girl life. I've, I've always thought about myself. Then again I get more energy. So it's a lot of like work hard, burn out, rest a bit, start the
Mm,
whole process again until you get what you want.
mm,
So, and I always tell people, like, if you don't, maybe you don't know Obasanjo, you don't have so much connection, or
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
a
feel like
nepo
you're,
baby.
yes,
yes, so.
or you don't feel like you're the brightest or the smartest or anything.
Mm,
You see, not giving up. That's your
Yes.
superpower.
Yeah.
That's your
mm,
the kind of people getting the right information and then just going on and on about it. Personally, I think that's like my life history. That's the way I've been able to get to where I am and do things that I want to do, right? So back to your question in terms of so I would say yeah, agencies referrals is also very good because there are some companies that even though they've gotten 100 applicants, because somebody in the company referred, they will at least give you an interview.
mm,
Right.
So it doesn't mean you automatically get
mm,
recruited, but
mhm.
because you refer the person, they will
Right.
at least be. So I would say those are the hidden job markets. And when you see job posting, yes, apart from the fake ones, right? Most of
Mm,
these companies are actually looking for people, but
mm,
they also have like all these established companies, they also have agencies that are associated with them. So when this job posting comes, if the agency gets them a job faster than the HR rep
Yeah.
in that company does,
Mm,
they'll
mm,
just go with that.
mm,
So
mm,
I think those are major
mm,
ways that I feel works. Not just those are like hidden. Those are like the major ways to get
mm,
a job. Yeah.
mm,
yeah.
Wow,
Oh,
Ayo, that was really. And I've always heard of this agency thing, but I think like hearing it from you, and even
Yeah.
mm,
you also, being a like you having seen success
Yes.
that
Yes. Some
that
of
that.
you might get a lot. Some of them are you know the ones that are serious that with
Mm,
what they are doing. Yeah. So
mhm.
I'm all about trying until you get the one you want, right?
yeah,
Trying until you get the one that connects with you the most. And
yeah,
that's their reason of existing. Once they're not getting any jobs for like people, they can't sustain themselves.
true,
So
true.
they have a lot of skin in the game,
Mm,
right? So they need to
mm,
get it. So it's important and it has worked. It has
mm.
worked, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ayo. Like Bukola said, we had a list of questions, but in conversation and storytelling, you've been able
Yeah.
to touch on even the questions we didn't ask. Or
Yeah,
we didn't get to ask, and that's the beauty of storytelling. It's,
yeah.
you get to just touch on so many things.
And
So thank you so much. Even I have gained so much information. Like Bukola said, I never really rated agencies. Now they're up here for me. They're yeah.
especially if your course or your industry is in high demand.
Mm,
Yeah,
Mm,
it's
mm,
something, yeah, especially it works because definitely they themselves are chasing the high demand ones because they know that maybe it has a higher rate of
feeling.
getting approved, filling up quickly. So yeah,
okay.
it
Okay.
works. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I think we've come to the end of our session. I know I know Bukola wanted you to share like where you can be found, what you do. I do know that you have like an online presence.
Yeah.
So it'll be good to just slot that in here. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So my online on Instagram at Tips and Joy. So TIPSANDJOY. I'm also on YouTube, Tips and Joy as well. I joined TikTok, Tips and Joy underscore official. Yeah. I'm also but I'm a little bit very playful on my TikTok. I think TikTok people like they like they like play more than career.
yeah,
Then I'm on LinkedIn too, Ayo Orhiere. So I'm really active on my Instagram. Share a lot of tips, and if you scroll down my page, so many things, answering interview questions, and feel free to slide into my DM because I respond as well. Yeah.
fantastic,
Mm.
fantastic. Okay,
You heard it, guys. Like, please reach out to Ayo. Like, feel free to reach out. Really, I've been following her for quite a while, and she really does has a lot of gems. Like, so many tips, tricks, and everything. And trust me, you will not regret it. Ayo, this has been wonderful. Literally,
Thank you
like,
so much.
I
Yeah.
I have to end it,
so
but it
good.
has been really good, really good.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I also enjoyed my time. Yeah, speaking with you guys. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you
Thank you.
so
Thank
much.
you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
All
Thank
right.
you.